First of all, the producer organizations, they have an important role in being able to capture the fishermen's, in this particular case, their sentiments, and get that sentiments across to governments. In my view, there's a not sufficient, in many parts of Europe, not sufficient dialogue between the policy level and what's happening in the fisheries sector. And therefore, these producer organizations, which are collectives of fishermen, they can play a crucial role in ensuring that there is this dialogue ongoing between the public sector, who is after all the ones that extends management regimes to the sector, and the fisheries themselves. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that if producer organizations were to take on a much more active role, there's also a role for ensuring that landings and harvests occurs not all at the same time, but there is a certain level of ensuring that not too big changes in landings takes place at the same time. So there's a sort of leveling out of the landings, which would be quite an interesting thing for consumers as well. So you don't get into a situation where suddenly one day you have no fish to be able to buy, or the price is simply too high. And vice versa, that suddenly there's too many fish on the market, which makes that the fishermen will not make any money. So there's a role there for producer organizations that are pretty important, and I think that it would also be a good means for fishermen themselves to get more organized, better and more involved in the whole dialogue of the role of the fisheries sector in the society. And as such, as I see these producer organizations as being a conduit for that dialogue between the public sector and the sector itself, at the fisheries sector itself.